the change in the hormones is going to make it a little harder to get your results as you're getting
Yeah.
older, but that doesn't mean you have to succumb to it. There are ways to increase that
Mhm.
estrogen and the testosterone and lower your cortisol. So, can we talk about strategies to do that and work with
Mhm.
your hormones as we're getting into these perimenopause,
Mhm.
menopause, and postmenopause?
Yeah, definitely. And in each of those phases, there's a difference. And again, the nuance here is anybody listening would be like, just give me a blueprint, tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Many people will be that. But the truth is, you and I know we have to co collaborate with anybody listening because we're each, bioidentically, we're different, we're unique. And so your experience going through menopause and change is different. The life circumstance you're in.
Mm.
You're caregiving to, a child who needs you or to an older aging adult. You're stressed at work. You've got lots going on with relationship and finance, or God forbid, a California fire. You've got so much that is unique to you, adding to your stressors that we can't just say every woman in menopause, perimenopause should be doing this.
Yeah.
It's a blueprint. So we've got to say, if this, then that, back to your symptoms. But in general, all right. So what happens in perimenopause is so volatile. That's where we really have that roller coaster. We're trending down with our estrogen, testosterone, growth hormone, progesterone, and all of it, trending up with our cortisol, and your adrenals are trying to play catch up. They're like, whoa, hey, ping pong, not pickleball, right? It goes pretty quickly. But in general, we want to be strength training. If you have not started and you're in your early 40s, get on that right now.
Mhm.
The difference between early and late stage perimenopause, and this is always historical, so we have to say this is not us, I'm hoping. So in 10 years, I hope this is very different because we are doing it differently. But
Yeah.
if you don't, if you play the game that your mom or your aunt did, we're probably going to get the same results. But between early and late stages of perimenopause, women can lose 20% of their lean muscle mass. 27%. Now, that doesn't set you up for a postmenopause that's very good.
Yeah.
We're in trouble if that's true. So, we need to be strength training. But here's the thing, it also doesn't take a lot of time. Twice weekly, and I know there's a lot of people doing it different ways, but the research still does say and promote 2 or 3 times there's no significant difference in the result if you're doing it twice or 3 times. So if you're just getting started and you're busy and you are somewhat tired, or maybe adrenal fatigue is a part of your life, 2 is safer and smarter. So do it and recover completely. But you're talking 40, 45 minutes each. That can get you a complete workout, enough volume and stimulus to support that lean muscle mass. And if you do that, your blood sugar levels will be more regulated, which is a problem in perimenopause. And then look at walking regularly, moving regularly. You mentioned goes standing on the whole body vibration plate. It's little movement snacks of anything that will help you break up sedentary time, will also help you manage your blood sugar levels. That all contributes to the belly fat deposit. And so if you can stay on top of that, the risk of insulin resistance to perimenopausal women increases the closer she gets to menopause. So we want to put that away into bed if we can. So work on walking daily, and then you have to gauge, can I do HIIT or not? And if you're already tired, fatigued, not getting through the day, feeling really good, it's not the time to add it. If you're sleeping well, your energy's pretty good, your appetite's normal, you're hungry when meals come up, but you're not craving in between, I would say add some HIIT, see how you do 1 or 2 times a week for perimenopausal women, just because we don't want to tip the bucket to overstress your overstressed body already.
Yeah. Before you move on, I
Yeah.
just want to emphasize the fact that blood sugar is an issue, but it is more of an issue today than for our mothers and our aunts and
Mm,
our grandmothers because of the modern toxicities. Those raise our insulin resistance at the cellular level. So
mm,
we have to work even harder to
mhm,
manage that blood sugar. And muscles
mhm,
are those carb sponges. They love
mhm.
they if the more muscle you have, the more carbs you can eat, and without tipping that scale with the blood sugar. So another motivation to increase that muscle mass. And my best friend, she walked 8 miles a day, hard every day. I'm like, you gotta lift some weights. And finally she started, and now she can't stop. It's so
Mm,
exciting. And she's mid 50s. So
good.
it's never too late to start as
Mm,
well.
oh, no.
But okay, so now going into menopause, as we move
Mhm.
out of perimenopause, what changes?
Yeah. So menopause, as you and I both know, is really just that's a blip on a scale or on the calendar. We hit 12 months post. So hello post menopause, and that's till death do us part, although all the way, guys. So we can't take our foot off the accelerator when we're looking at what are the things I need to be doing, things I need to be thinking about. And as we age, honestly, are earnest about paying attention to muscle and to strength and to power should increase, not decrease. We need to be working harder, but we also, in doing that, have to work smarter because, your 60, your 70-year-old bones, muscles, ligaments are not as resilient as when you were 20. They will need better sleep and rest and nutrition and recovery time between. But now, what we know, and the majority of women, we could say average, and I hate saying average, the average age of menopause, but I never want to state this in a way I say the average woman, because guess what? None of us are average, right? I mean, come on. We're way above average. But what you want to be thinking is, by the time you're 60, almost all of us are in postmenopause. We've got a lot of women in our community who actually are not reaching menopause even at 57, 58. They're reaching it later. So good to know, right? They're a little bit more protected for longer in their life with more estrogen available to them at that point. But once you hit postmenopause, your roller coaster ride is pretty much done. And this is to everybody who's wondering, is this if I'm on HRT or if I'm not? It's either way. So, you're stable, much more stable after you've hit, okay, I'm at this plateau, and it may be flatline stable, but at least it's predictable, right? So we need much more stimulus. If we could say at 60, what happens? Not just menopause, but age becomes a factor as well. We lose strength and power much more significantly at about 60. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, but this is historically. This is for those people who weren't lifting their whole lives, for people who hadn't started yet. So we don't have a critical mass enough yet to say, what happens to those of us that have been lifting and lifting, significantly, not just those pink dumbbells in bar classes. Come on, you guys, we got
Right.
to do better than that, right? If you like it, you can keep going, but you've got to do something else too. So we need more stimulus, more volume. And the studies are telling us the same workout and the same routine that works for women in perimenopause is not going to be enough stimulus for us in postmenopause. You're
Mhm.
going to have to dial it up a little. We're going to have to go a little bit heavier or do another set. But the volume ideally doesn't just come from increasing repetitions. And this is a real important distinction. So we tend to want to increase volume by, I'm going to do more reps. So instead of 15, I'll do 20 or I'll do 25 or I'll go to 30. And we also say, I'll add another day. Well, then you're negating your recovery. And that will be problematic because we remember that the fitness happens between the stimulus, not during the workout. So you're not getting more fit because you do more workouts. You're getting more fit if you've done all the recovery pieces. You're getting the rest between, you're getting the sleep between, you're getting the recovery movement between, you're getting adequate calories, adequate protein, micronutrients, and or supplementing so that you're getting them. So we've got to pay attention to that piece. But more sets and heavier weight if you can tolerate it. And we know not everybody can. So remember, it's as heavy as you safely can. No pain. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a conundrum that older women are in because they're afraid to injure themselves, but they actually need more.
Yeah.
And they need more just like they need more protein. Like
Yeah.
I need to eat more protein than my daughters that are working
Mhm.
out 4 times as much as me
Mhm.
because their bodies assimilate it much easier than we do as we get older. So you
Yes.
women out there, this is the danger of drugs like Ozempic, and I'm
Mhm.
not saying
True.
it doesn't have a place for people, but you
Yeah.
have to do it right. Because it's super easy not to eat, and then when you eat, you reach for the Ben and Jerry's and you still lose weight. But you're going to be losing your muscle and you
Mhm.
don't even know it. And that's the other reason I actually am promoting people using a body scan
Mhm.
scale, not just the regular bathroom scale, so that
Right.
you can see your fat and your muscle and you can see the trends so you catch it before it gets into a really dangerous spot, because it is very difficult to gain that muscle back
Yeah.
if you lose it. And when you are on a weight loss journey, whether it's with an Ozempic or just a calorie restriction, you tend to not eat enough protein. You actually need to eat more protein and you need more stimulus
Mhm.
to maintain that muscle mass as you're getting older versus your younger version. And then you get into this really pigeonholed position where you have low mass, your metabolism is lowered down because you were on some sort of restriction, and you've lost muscle. And now when you start getting back again, you're going to gain fat back and not the muscle
Mhm.
back. And
Mhm.
no one wants that. So
Right. Yeah.
it is that that trouble though with risking injury but also increasing the load. So what
Mhm.
do you tell women
Mhm.
who are afraid of the injury, because that's a real concern?